your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes for a second.
Hi Posh fam, welcome back to my channel, and we are talking all things Married at First Sight Australia. Now, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, share this channel with your friends, like, comment, and as always, I would definitely pick the funniest of comments and respond back. It will maybe give you a shout out. Now, let's get into last night's commitment ceremony, because I wanted to talk about that before we then do the final recap for this particular week, which is Intimacy Week. It is no surprise that we're getting into Intimacy Week just after Revelation Week. It feels very appropriate. But then let's talk about this particular commitment ceremony. It went downhill pretty fast. Now I think we pretty much, a lot of us would have guessed the outcome for this particular first commitment ceremony. So there was no shortcut, there was no surprise there. The only surprise was the bad behavior exhibited by the dynamic duo, and that of Brooke and Gia. Now, these are now what we're going to be calling or tagging as the mean girls for this season. It is so funny that this particular dynamics of the show has sort of shifted focus from the contestants having to, grow and find out connections or make connections with the partners they've been paired with. And now we're switching from that to the group dynamics, which has got no bearing to how this couple eventuate or how they eventually come to decide for themselves if they want to be with the partner that they've been paired with. So having this contestants or this hopeful wannabe couples or hopeful wannabe 2-minute celebrity disregard the efforts that the experts have put in place, disregard the reason that they have come on this show to then now foster disunity, discord, mingers vibe, bullying. It's just dumbfounding. And I'm again questioning the premise of this show. Why do we have this show? It is not promoting love, it's not promoting unity, it's not promoting friendship. It's just, I don't know, sinking into a downward spiral. But let's just get into the talking point of the day. Now, all but one of the couple wrote they were all going to stay. All but one. And we all know who that one is. Luke and Mel. We might just maybe touch base with Luke and Mel first before we get into the nitty-gritty of the other couples and their craziness. Luke and Mel have had a challenging start to this particular experiment. No surprise, at the altar, Mel was waiting for her fairy tale moment. That was missed because Luke forgot the rings. This then saw this whole wedding fiasco just turn into chaos for Mel. Mel could not picture her happily ever after, and as such completely shut down. And so we then progressed into the honeymoon. There was no recovering or coming back from that. And these guys moved in together. It became too toxic to the point where Luke had to excuse himself. What then followed was family now attacking each other on social media. So for us, it was pretty straightforward and easy. There was going to be calling it quit for this two at this particular first commitment ceremony. But the surprise now was Luke being very emotional, which we understand, to actually then deciding he was going to stay. And I'm like questioning his decision making. This girl has shown you nothing but disdain, nothing but resentment and rejection. Why do you think you're going to get any hope that you will come back from this? Mel has said you are not her Bradley Cooper. She is looking for a blue-eyed blonde man to walk down the aisle to save her. She pretty much color-coded the whole thing, and it's not making sense for her. So why are you forcing it? Mel wrote leave. Her excuses stemmed from the fact that she walked down the aisle, there was no one waiting. Luke wasn't what she ordered. Pretty much she's getting the Timu version of Bradley Cooper, and she's not happy with that. And I don't think she's going to come back from that. So the experts sort of called Mel for her behavior. Did they do it like in a harsh way? Not quite. I felt they could have done more to maybe have her go back and reassess her choice and the fact that she is where she is. Again, like I said, she's not here to find love. She's probably here to grow an Instagram fame, become an affiliate marketer or an influencer of sort. Maybe open an OnlyFans subscription channel. Who knows? Mel is in here for look. And if these two are going to tell me that they will come back from this, hell would definitely freeze over. But I guess, as with the rules of the game, when one right stay and the other right leave, they are both going to stay, give you one more shot and see how that progress. And we move on from Luke and Mel and on to the other talking moment of the day. That was Steve and Rebecca. Now, we all saw how Steve literally trashed Rebecca with all of his red flag. We could see he went back to the hotel room or their apartment and gave glowing remarks to Rebecca, which was quite subscribed. I'm like, is this guy bipolar? What is going on here? He just pretty much disrespected this girl, this lady, in front of the other group of men, and now he's coming back and like it never happened. Well, on the couch, he again went on the tirade of, we are so happy, we are taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, everything is honky-dory. And you could see Rebecca shaking her head. Rebecca pretty much wants to, get in the shit. She wants to get in his sack real quick. Steve is like, no freaking way, you ain't coming close to me. I am not playing that game. We're not doing that here. I can understand, but I don't understand why Steve thought that he had the opportunity to not explore outside of the experiment in itself. Like, he could have found love outside. Why Married at First Sight, knowing what the show is about, knowing what the show promotes? Why come on here and waste someone else's time, all in the name of you are a slow burner? And again, speaking of slow burning, Jules and Grayson had the slowest of start, and pretty much they are nowhere near coming anywhere close. Because according to Jules, she's taking her time, knowing the fact that she's bisexual. She's made Grayson well aware that she's pro-choice, so Grayson should be pro-choice. However, she wants to definitely understand her biological chemistry to see if it matches with Grayson, and leaving Grayson to like, hang on a minute. It's all been about you, and I'm trying to accommodate you because you want it to be about you, and I've been patient. But I'm going to speak my truth. There is no connection. We're not getting close to being intimate. It's far removed from our conversations. And I was like, I called it. Commitment consultant or whatever she said she was in her opening bio. She's in here for love. Again, she's here to grow her business. Let us understand that there's this particular line of business that none of us have heard of in our lifetime, and she is here promoting it. She probably thought she was going to get a girl, which was going to give her drama, extend her TV time, but that's not the case because the expert decided they were going to pull a fast one on her and give her a man. And so she's trying to come to terms with that. And I can tell you, this relationship is not going anywhere anytime soon. They did both right to stay to see if they can find where they hid the connection. Good luck, guys. It's going to be intimacy week. Hell is going to freeze over. Like I said, why are these guys writing stay? Okay, how much are they getting paid? No, let's scratch that. They need more airtime to promote their business and to promote their influencership or whatever brand that will come on Instagram. So that's basically what it is. Trash TV, as it may seem, I am losing patience with this particular set of girls. Chris and Brooke came on. Obviously, we all know Chris's audition video left a bitter taste in Brooke's mouth. But guess what? Chris, you are an angel in contrast to who Brooke is. Brooke is a very nasty person. And I am so glad that I don't ever have to meet people like this in my life. I will not. I won't even give them the time of day or the opportunity to draw that close. But anyway, Brooke decided to point out all of the negatives that was Chris and still came back to say she wants to give him a chance. These guys, I cannot. They both wrote stay. And this is where it got interesting. I cannot really comment about Gia and Scott because those two feel like they're dominating the group dynamics, and we'll just let them know. They did write stay. So whatever the case, it got to Steven and Rachel. We could see why these two were matched, but I still want to say that I don't think this is a perfect match. Yes, there is the complexities of their body dysmorphia as it may seem. They are both struggling, they both come from place of rejection, but Steven seems very naive. I don't think he knows exactly what to do when it comes to romance. He is very timid. He is very meek. He has zero clue. He's not been in a relationship in the last 14 years. I pretty much think they could have given him a crash course with an AI companion to start off with, and maybe slowly ease him into dating humans, because right now this is too much for him. Why is he on the show? I really don't know. I don't think he looks like someone that's going to be promoting any product anytime soon. It's going to be a hard one because Rachel, even though she's very quirky and also has all of these insecurities, she looks like there's a lot more growth in her as compared to Steven. So it's more like, whilst Rachel is 10 steps ahead, Steven is still trying to look for where to find the key to open the door to the staircase. So I do not know why this matchup happened, but we will give the experts who feel, they know best. I think for Danny and Beck, we already know they had the struggle at the start with intimacy. However, I just feel Beck is, driving on the group dynamics in order to be or come across as having the perfect relationship. Because again, there is pressure from Brooke and Gia, who are just there mean, nasty, and just trying to bring the group morale down. So Beck might need a crash course on, self-esteem, ignoring the white noise, and just focus on Danny and see what they can make of that relationship. They both road stay, so I can't wait to, recap on their progress or lack thereof as we continue on the experiment. The final couple for the night. Before the final couple, we had Alicia and David. We both know those two. Sort of, I feel like they're a perfect match. They are not slow burning, they are steadily progressing their relationship. And Alicia, who we thought was, over the top, seems a little bit mellow when push comes to shove. So again, they are both staying to see how they can further learn about each other and progress in the experiment. The last couple for the night was none other than Stella and Philip. Now, whilst these two are literally inseparable, the dynamics of the group is starting to affect, how they feel or how they show their love for each other. Pretty much, Brooke is anti Stella and Philip, and Stella, who's a very feisty one, Paul called her out for her nasty and bullying ways, which then sort of became chaos at the commitment ceremony because Brooke didn't want to have a bar of the fact that they were calling her out for being such a mean and nasty person during the red flag, green flag challenge. It got to the point where words were exchanged back and forth. Brooke, I'm trying to call her Book because she probably needs to read a book. I also feel like she's going through some type of withdrawal. She's a model. Yeah, you know what they do. Yes, and so she probably might need a few of those in order to change her personality on the show. Otherwise, she's a sinking ship, and I hope, if possible, we'll let her go before she ruins the dynamic of the group. Now, I am proud of how Stella handled herself, calling out the nastiness and having the expert see it for what it is so that they can pretty much nip this whole thing in the bud before it gets really, really or it gets to the point where it affects the entire group. Now, we're going to progress from here until I come your way very soon to talk about this particular week's challenge, because as we know, they are now entering intimacy week, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about the dinner party that will be coming up on Wednesday following the challenge that is intimacy week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, come on the comment section and share your thoughts. I will talk with you soon. Bye.